Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. It is that time again. Welcome to Breaking Boundaries. You read it correctly. Overcoming your limits, harnessing self belief for HR leaders and managers. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Breaking Boundaries, where basically we're dedicated to helping HR leaders and managers navigate the complexity of professional development with clarity, number one, and with confidence. I am your host, Ruth McCrackin, for those who are coming in for the first time. And today we're going to delve in. Yes, we are. I'm really looking forward to it. We're going to delve into a critical topic that impacts many in the corporate world. So grab your favorite drink, grab your digital notepad or iPad, whatever that case may be, because this is about the time where you're going to be able to overcome, yes, self-limiting beliefs. How many of you all have experienced this or are occurring this right now and just unsure on how to navigate or how to just release yourself for such of these fallacies that may have been hindering you from your promotional growth, from your relationships overall, and genuinely as a self reflection of yourself? Are you on the right path? Well, you're definitely in the right place at the right time, my friend. So, this episode is definitely not just going to be your typical guide or audio that you're going to just have playing in the background. It's an essential, yes, toolkit that's not only going to help for just for you, but for anyone who's looking to elevate in their professional leadership capabilities. Yes. And most importantly, before we even dive in, I want you to remember to check out. It's going to be so, so good. I'm really excited about our exclusive Boost Your Brand Online. It's going to be blowing your mind. It's going to definitely pivot, not only help you pivot, but also help you position your brand of your professional growth on how to be able to leverage it here on LinkedIn, where we want to help you break through the step-by-step 5 pillars to boost your career, that is in less than 48 hours. I don't know about you, but every time I'm thinking about that, it definitely gets me so round up and prepped up to getting started because I heard from you all. Stay tuned for more details if you don't see it already somewhere in the bottom of this live where we're streaming. And by the way, we're streaming on multiple platforms. You could very well be live here with me on LinkedIn, YouTube, or other related social media platforms. But for now, let's go ahead and get started. Would you like to know how to remove some of these self-limiting beliefs? I don't know about you, but this can be a significant barrier for many top performers, top authorities, particularly those in the leadership roles who are expected to navigate, yes, and manage not only their teams, but also their own career aspirations and trajectories. And oftentimes you may be thinking, well, am I doing it in an effective way? Am I being productive with what my mission is when it comes to my goals and my aspirations as I continue to want to advance within my current role and next higher end positions? Whether it's basically number one, whether it's doubts about your abilities, fear of failure. How many can definitely relate to that? Feeling rejected, or am I doing it the right way? Or and am I, if I involve other people, because I'm a control addict and I want to make sure that I'm crossing all T's and dotting all I's. Well, my friend, you're definitely in the right place. And we're going to talk about even imposter syndrome. Although I've discussed this in a lot more in-depth way in previous episodes, I want you to not ignore it in this one. And these beliefs can hold you back, yes, from achieving your full potential as a productive and authentic leader, and even as a thought leader. And so, first thing I want you to all to understand is several years ago, as I'm sharing a little bit of what I occurred in my personal walk, I found myself, yes, doubting, oh my goodness, not just doubting my own qualifications, despite the successful route that I was in, my track record, how I worked under chief of staff and not only helped him hire thousands of top talent, but helped him implement and design some of these people tools and HR tools. When I was up for a promotion, however, that would put me in charge of much more larger scale team, and as well as more closer interaction and engagement with executives, right? It was a daunting prospect. And I got to be honest with you, definitely gave me all types of butterflies and emotional roller coaster, thinking, what am I going to do? And those nagging doubts, my friend, is almost so convincing at times, where you just want to go the easier route and just say, you know what, second thought, I'm just going to stick with what I already know is working. It's been working. Although I'm going to be practically 2xing my salary, is this the path that I truly want to take for me when it comes to my candidacy? So doubts almost convinced me, by the way, to withdraw my candidacy at the time. However, through self reflection and targeted actions, mentorships, a strong community, if you will, I was able to not just overcome self imposed barriers. Yes, self imposed. These are barriers that I created, and even maybe perhaps up was through my a portion of my upbringing, if I didn't take note and identify it early on, thankfully so. Leading this can also lead to one of the most fruitful periods in my career, by just taking the pause of not doing things all alone. And so, what I want for you to do, and what I would love for you to get out of this, is identifying self limiting beliefs, like I did. What are yours? How do you do so? Recognizing these beliefs is the most important step, my friend. And not only so, it often, they are rooted, yes, in past experiences or unfounded fears. Sometimes you may be having a humanly conversation with one of your partners, your friends, or your peers, and then saying it to yourself out loud makes you even feel weird, like, wow, did I even put myself in this position or this predicament? Not realizing that it was not the right choice. Who can definitely relate with what I'm just saying now? And what can you do to overcome some of these areas of what I'm walking with you and what I'm explaining to you right now? By doing this, think of this by focusing on number two: challenging and replacing them. What are you looking to challenge and what you're looking to replace? First, you need to understand the challenge of these beliefs. How do they even exist? How do they even come part of your reality? When it comes to the beliefs, with evidence of your achievements and capabilities. And then I would love for you to actively work or to replace them with empowering beliefs. Maybe thinking you may not be good enough, or maybe you may feel like your education may be limited or a lack of, or maybe you need to go back and get a certification or your PhD. When so much so, what you have now in your arsenal of tools, guess what? It is enough. It's enough, my friend. You have what it takes, if not more already. Whereas, believe it or not, the people that's already in certain specialized leadership roles could maybe have, well, not could, did what you may already have had in terms of a higher education without even having that. So the question you want to ask yourself is, how do you get to moving the needle forward? How do you eliminate some of these doubts? Well, first off, have you built a supporting network? Once you've identified these challenges when it comes to self-limiting doubt and limited beliefs, you want to be able to get with a mentor. Surround yourself with the right like-minded people, people that you know you can look up to, or you see them 10 steps ahead of you. Yes. And these are areas where you can say, well, I may would love to collaborate and work with a mentor in the areas of leadership development, or maybe in the areas of self-confidence and improving my communication skills more effectively. This is something that you can definitely encourage yourself to do by getting support of your growth through peers, through mentors, and most important, providing and having this type of external perspective. Oh my goodness, it makes a world of a difference. It makes you see it through a different lens, see it through another eyes of source, opposed to you and maybe being your own sense of of conviction. So oftentimes it may be the other way around when you're needing to get reliance from peers or from mentors, seasoned coach. And I say do this and do it with research. Go ahead, be free and research and find those who resonate with you. Is this helpful? Is this letting you know to eliminate some of these self-limited beliefs that may be holding you back? And what can you do? Because with these type of podcasts, I always want you to walk away with doing some actionable tips, doing some actionable steps from the tips that I'm going to be sharing with you, what I've already shared with you, and what can you do to now shift and most importantly, disrupt your current situation when it comes to self-limited beliefs. How many of you are leaders, especially HR leaders who want to run a team more effectively, more productive, and most importantly, want to reduce retention? Then you want to stay and write this down. And then you also want to stay closer to the end as well as we talk about our live webinar event that you're going to want to register because of the fact that the Zoom is going to limit you whether or not if you're going to be part of it. You don't want to miss it and you want to share it as well. Boosting your brand online with LinkedIn. Oh my gosh, it's going to be so good. It's really going to be look at it as a live workshop. We're going to definitely be hands-on, collaborative, and we're going to make it so much fun. Now, back to what I'm sharing with you as far as what can you actually implement and move into your day-to-day to remove some of these self-doubts and self-limitations. Well, I'm glad you asked. Have you taken consideration? I know some of you it may even sound silly to say it, but I kid you not, it has been the most game-changing day-to-day action. And oftentimes I may have some step backs and not be consistent, but I always remind myself, no, this was gotten me this far by doing what? Journaling for self-reflection. How many of you all find this to be a challenge today? It only takes but 5 minutes. 5 minutes, grab yourself a planner. I have one here. I take it with me everywhere I go, everywhere I'm traveling, and really give yourself the motivation and the inspiration that you're needing. What belief about yourself has held you back the past month? That would be the first goal that I would want to overcome or question I want to ask myself. What is some of the limiting beliefs? And then write it down. Make a list. For example, start with three, 2 to 3, where you demonstrate the opposite of what may be holding you back in the past month. Whatever held you back, now look at it in the opposite spectrum or flip the coin and see what would life look like if you did the complete opposite. Now, maybe you didn't do team meetings or team building activities the past month. What would life look like if you included some more innovative way of increasing morale with your team opposed to maybe doing it once a quarter? Maybe you want to incorporate mini workshops or lunch and learns within your team building, or just a moment to have maybe a happy hour of mocktails within a virtual setting. Is this helpful? How are you looking to shift this is what I'm getting at. How are you looking to remove some of these self-limitations and beliefs that, guess what, you created? Yes, that you created. And so the goal is we want to eliminate and remove this and think with a whole different mindset. And so who's ready? So what I would love for you to do as well is seek feedback actively. Would it be something that you want to give yourself consideration and also permission to, hey, how am I doing so far? Maybe doing some sort of one-to-one touch point, if it's maybe once a week or once every other week, where you're meeting with your mentor, you're meeting with your manager, or some sort of leader that you look up to who can help you push that needle forward. Can you visualize yourself, by the way, achieving your career goals alone, or would it be a lot more effective to doing it with a plus one, with the power of one more? I do believe with Ed Mylett, he wrote a book on the power of one more. If you haven't heard of it or would love a good read, I highly recommend to grab that book. This is an opportunity where you get to practice daily visualization on your successes. And what I highly recommend is after you schedule feedback from your team, from your manager, your mentor, jump into number 3, visualizations techniques. What does that mean? I am huge on visualizing. Yes, you can do some meditation. Some people may not be keen to that. They might find it to be it's maybe waste of their time, but how about another alternative? Right? Maybe can you visualize yourself? Maybe really sitting down and writing down your vision. Some people are more practical and they like to write it down very clearly and be more specific. Not just saying, I want to grow up or I want to be CEO of a very reputable company. Be more specific. What type of company? What type of industry? What is the mission? Is it a non for profit? Is it a SaaS company? Is it more so a manufacturing where it's delving in on engineering, mechanical, revolutionized type of products or services? This is an area that you want to sit with and definitely delve into even more deeper, because guess what? It's going to get you more closer to the future version of you. Wouldn't that be cool to really dig into the brain of the person that you're looking to become, opposed to the person you've already been up until this point? Is this something that you can see yourself shifting and moving into a direction on really be more creative on how you can see yourself moving into a different outlook or insight of who you like to see yourself becoming as that more effective and thought leader? Yes. All right, so as we're wrapping up, let me know if you may want to go back, like I said, and really go in and take heed on some of the couple of action items that I shared with you. I definitely would highly recommend to practice this on an ongoing basis, making it a routine. I know oftentimes, according to study, if you're starting a new habit, give yourself grace. I say go for 90 days. Forget about the 21-day rule or 30-day rule. Do the more the better. 60 to 90 days tops, where you're sitting, and even if it's doing it for 5 to 20 minutes a day, make it realistic, make it consistent enough to where it's obtainable within your schedule. Would that be all right? Is that something that you're really going to take the opportunity, you're willingly wanting to go ahead and carve out 10 minutes out of your day, even if it's recording a reminder via your whatever calendar that you may be using, or if you're using a reminder on your phone where it prompts you to do so on the top of the day or during your lunch or right before you go to bed? What I would love to share with you is, have you ever let self-limiting belief alter your career path? How many of you all maybe find yourself getting really comfortable in your role? You've been in your role now for 5, 10, 15, if not more years. You got to the point where you got so comfortable and you don't even know whether or not if you're reaching your leadership full potential at this point. Well, what if I could tell you how to overcome some of these limiting beliefs? What techniques do you find most effective for building self confidence in leadership? Maybe you don't have these techniques set aside yet. Well, say no more. These are ways that we're going to help with the workshop that I shared with you, because if you're ready, because it sounds like you are, because you wouldn't be sitting here to this point of our live. Are you ready to break free from self limiting beliefs? And not only that, boost your leadership potential. Then join me. Join me on Boost Your Brand Online event on LinkedIn, but you gotta register. It's a Zoom live webinar where we'll delve in 10 times deeper. It's super fun. It's very practical, into strategies that's going to help elevate your career, not just your advancement, but development as well. Click the link below to learn more and register right now. Let's take this journey. I promise you, together it's going to be so, so good. It's not just going to just blow your mind. You're going to want to bring a group of your friends and peers with you. Why would you not want to? And so let me know that you all are going to come, drop some fires. Let me know by joining me here into the retreat section. I'm really excited to see how we can definitely help you expand and remove some of these limited beliefs about yourself, and knowing that what you have is a great enough brand to really elevate and pushing you to the next chapter of your professional growth. Thank you for joining us here on Breaking Boundaries. It's really for you to know that, remember, the only limits that truly exist are the ones that we set for yourself, that we set on ourselves. Yes? Keep challenging your boundaries, keep growing, and let's make the rest of this year your most impactful yet. Who's ready to do that? Who's ready to disrupt their current situation, their year progressive. If you're thinking that it may be stagnant or it's going a bit too slow for you, then see you at the Boost Your Brand Online event. If you haven't registered, what are you waiting on? Please go ahead. I kid you not. It's going to be so, so good. You're going to have a gay old time. And let's transform your career together. Why do it alone? Why go through the overwhelming frustration of trying to position your brand to standing out as a top authority all by yourself? Okay. And if this is so, if you're wanting to be part of that journey, look forward to having you guys. Thank you all for hanging in there. Until next time.